Hello. In, in God's creation, vast and fair, his wisdom is wondrous and is seen everywhere. From heavens on high to earth below, his glory is light in every show. The heavens and earth we find a proof of wisdom well designed. Both learned sage and peasant see his artistry and majesty. Not limited to scholarly few, his wisdom's open and clear to view. The unadorned in skies they'll trace God's boundless knowledge, wondrous grace. For scholars well versed in their field, deeper insights they unseal. From galaxies to cells so small, God's wisdom shines for one and all. For those who lack in depth degrees, the wonders plain for all to seize. In sunrise, stars, and nature's grace, God's skill displayed in every place. In the study of celestial dance, with skill and care, we take a chance. Yet even with the mysteries vast, God's hand through stars forever cast. As we delve deeply in heavenly signs, God's providence in His grand designs, the mysteries unfold, the mind does soar to greater heights we can't ignore. But not just scholars, scientists see the signs of God's grand mastery. For those without vast knowledge trace, his wisdom shines in every space. Through every vein and every bone, God's wisdom through our forms is shown. From intricate brain to heart's embrace, his genius clear in every case. With Galen's aid or eyes unskilled, the human body God has filled with wonder, beauty, and design for all to see his grandest sign. The evidence for all is there in every place and every layer. From earth to sky, from day to night, God's wisdom shines with glorious light. So take a look both near and far for God's design in every star. In nature's beauty you will see his wisdom's vast, and it is free. Welcome back to my Fortress of Theology. I'm Jonathan the Cage Stage Crusader, and this little cutie is Scholastica Thaumaturgus IV, the Princess of Heretic Hunters. And I am on a pilgrimage through John Calvin's systematic theology of the Institutes of the Christian Religion. Today I'm on book 1, chapter 5, section 2. So like, subscribe, drop a comment, write an imprecatory prayer if you suffer from anti Calvinist derangement syndrome. Let's get into this. John Calvin writes, in attestation of his wondrous wisdom, both the heavens and the earth present us with innumerable proofs, not only of the more recondite proofs which astronomy, medicine, and all the natural sciences are designed to illustrate, but proofs which force themselves on the notice of the most illiterate peasant, who cannot open his eyes without beholding them. It is true, indeed, that those who are more or less intimately acquainted with those liberal studies are thereby assisted and enabled to obtain a deeper insight into the secret workings of divine wisdom. No man, however, though he be ignorant of these, is incapacitated for discerning such proofs of creative wisdom as may well cause him to break forth in admiration of the Creator. To investigate the motions of the heavenly bodies, to determine their positions, measure their distances, and ascertain their properties demands skill and a more careful examination, and where these are so employed as to the providence of God is thereby more fully unfolded. So it is reasonable to suppose that the mind takes a loftier flight and obtains greater views of his glory. Still, none who have use of their eyes can be ignorant of the divine skill manifested so conspicuously in the endless variety, yet distinct and well ordered array of the heavenly host, and therefore it is plain that the Lord has furnished every man with abundant proofs of his wisdom. The same is true in regard to the structure of the human frame. To determine the connection of its parts, its symmetry, its beauty with the skill of Galen requires singular acuteness, and yet all men acknowledge that the human body bears on its face such proofs for ingenious contrivance as are sufficient to proclaim the admirable wisdom of its maker. You can see in Institutes of the Christian Religion, Book 1, Chapter 5, Section 2, Calvin emphasizes the idea that the natural world serves as a compelling testament to the wisdom and divine craftsmanship of God. In this text, Calvin emphasizes that the beauty and order of the universe, as well as the intricacies of the human body, provide unequivocal evidence of God's wisdom. He suggests that these proofs are readily accessible to people of all levels of education and intellectual capacity. Calvin argues that the evidence of God's wisdom is not limited to those who possess specialized knowledge in fields like astronomy or medicine. Even the most uneducated individuals can witness and appreciate the wisdom of the Creator in the world around them. While those who study the natural sciences gain deeper insights into the intricate workings of God's creation, Calvin emphasizes that such specialized knowledge is not a prerequisite for recognizing the divine wisdom. The natural world itself is replete with clear indicators of God's artistry. Calvin acknowledges that the study of celestial bodies, their movements, and properties requires specific skills and scientific expertise. However, he notes that the ordered arrangement and variety of celestial bodies are evident even to those with limited knowledge. He then concludes that God has furnished every person with abundant proofs of his wisdom. The created world, from the heavens above to the human body, reflects the ingenuity of the Creator, allowing all individuals to marvel at his work. Calvin emphasizes the universal accessibility of God's wisdom in creation. He highlights the idea that one need not be a scholar in specific fields to recognize the intricacies and order of the natural world, which point to the divine wisdom and craftsmanship of God. This concept aligns with Calvin's broader theological perspective, where God's attributes are displayed through creation for all to witness and acknowledge. You're looking for attention again, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're wanting attention. You want attention because you're the little kitty. We can see that in this section, Calvin makes 11 points in total. 1. The heavens and the earth provide innumerable proofs of God's wisdom. Proofs are not limited to complex recondite knowledge, but are evident to the most uneducated individuals. 3. Those well versed in the liberal studies, astronomy, medicine, natural sciences, can gain deeper insight into God's wisdom. 4. Ignorance of these studies does not hinder a person from discerning the obvious evidence of God's wisdom in creation. Investigating the celestial bodies, positions, distances, and properties requires skill and careful examination. 6. The study of celestial bodies unfolds the providence of God more fully and elevates the mind to a higher understanding of his glory. 7. Even those who lack in depth knowledge of celestial mechanics can see the divine skill displayed in the organized arrangement of the heavenly bodies. 8. God provided abundant evidence of his wisdom for every individual. 9. The same principle applies to the human body structure. Understanding the human body's connection, symmetry, and beauty may require the expertise of someone like Galen. And 11. However, all people can acknowledge that the human body exhibits ingenious design, testifying to the Creator's wisdom. Let's go through these one by one and see the depth of what Calvin wrote. 1. The heavens and the earth provide innumerable proofs of God's wisdom. John Calvin's assertion that the heavens and earth offer countless demonstrations of God's wisdom is grounded in his theological perspective, which emphasizes the revelation of God's attributes through his creation. Calvin's belief in the heavens and the earth serving as evidence of God's wisdom is rooted in his theological doctrine. He sees creation as an active display of God's attributes, particularly as wisdom, order, and design. Calvin and his institutes encourages believers to look at the natural world as a book authored by God, whereas wisdom is written on every page. In this view, the complexity, beauty, and order of the cosmos and the earth are all expressions of divine wisdom that point to God's sovereignty. Consider a spectacular sunset, where the sky is painted in vibrant hues of red, orange, and purple. This striking natural phenomenon not only stirs aesthetic appreciation, but also reflects the precise design and harmony in the universe. The rotation of the earth, the scattering of sunlight, and the atmospheric conditions all work together to create this awe-inspiring sight, showcasing the divine wisdom behind the natural order. Or consider the intricate design of the human eye, which is another example. Its ability to capture light, focus on objects, and send signals to the brain is an astonishing demonstration of divine wisdom. Even though it requires complex biological understanding to fully grasp the eye's mechanics, its apparent functionality is a testament to God's wisdom. The Bible provides numerous passages that affirm the idea that the heavens and the earth reveal God's wisdom. Psalm 19, 1 and 2. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. Day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. The passage from the Psalms eloquently speaks about how the heavens proclaim God's glory and his wisdom, and this proclamation is continuous. Romans 1:20. His invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world and the things that have been made. This verse from Romans suggests God's wisdom is evident through his creation and can be understood by observing the world around us. Calvin's assertion that the heavens and the earth provide innumerable proofs of God's wisdom is deeply rooted in his theological convictions. He teaches that the natural world serves as a canvas on which God's wisdom is conspicuously displayed. Real world examples, such as the beauty of a sunset and the intricacy of the human eye, illustrate the concept. Biblical passages from Psalms and Romans reinforce the idea that creation testifies to God's wisdom and divine attributes. On the point, too, these proofs are not limited to complex, recondite knowledge, but are evident even to the most uneducated individuals. Calvin's assertion that the proofs of God's wisdom in the heavens and earth are accessible to even the most uneducated individuals reflects his belief in the universality of divine revelation. Calvin uses the word recondite, which is not an everyday type of word. Its meaning is that recondite is an adjective of a subject or knowledge, little known or obscure, such as this book is full of recondite information. So, like really selective, specialized information, that sort of stuff. Like somebody talking about like high level physics or something would be an example of recondite knowledge. In his theological writings, Calvin emphasizes that God's wisdom is evident not only to scholars or those with specialized knowledge, but to all individuals, regardless of their education or intellectual capacity. Calvin's theology promotes the idea that God's revelation through creation is accessible to everyone, as it doesn't depend on academic or scientific expertise. Perspective aligns with the notion that God's wisdom is manifest in the observable world and apparent to all who have the ability to perceive it. It's this point exactly that supports my view of systematic theology and why I'm on this pilgrimage through the institutes. The Christian faith is simple enough for a 5-year-old to grasp the basics of, yet it's also deep enough for the most brilliant of theologians to swim in and never touch the bottom. Most Christian content these days is either empty fluff or academic big shots trying to show how good of a scholar they are. Neither are really balanced approaches. I think one can eat the meat of the Christian faith without it being like chewing on grandma's roast beef that's as tough as a leather boot. You know, it's just Christianity and knowledge of the doctrine does not need to be complicated. It because it's not. The gospel is simple enough for little kids to grasp, and it's sophisticated and deep enough that theologians can like mull things over for decades and still be in awe and wonder of the things in it. It's like the beauty of the gospel, how it transcends any sort of cognitive limitations. Even like little kids, like 5-year-olds saved from chocolate milk addiction and whatnot. Some examples of how easy it is to see the hand of God in creation would be the changing of seasons. Is a straightforward example of divine wisdom that can be grasped by people of all backgrounds. As the seasons transition from the vibrant colors of autumn to the renewal of life in spring, the cycle of life and intricate balance of nature become evident to anyone who observes them. The regularity and beauty of this natural phenomenon serve as a testament to God's wisdom, comprehensible to people with varying levels of education. Or consider the night sky with its stars and constellations. And you are pawing at chords again. That is not allowed. No, it's forbidden for kiddies to do that. You need to behave, right? Yeah. Or consider the night sky with its stars and constellations. It's another example. Even without an understanding of astronomy or complex astrophysics, Anyone can gaze at the stars and marvel at their arrangement and the vastness of the cosmos. A sense of wonder and amazement reflects an intuitive recognition of the divine wisdom behind creation. The Bible affirms the idea that God's wisdom is accessible to all, regardless of their level of education or expertise. Matthew 18:3, truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Jesus' words emphasize the childlike faith and simplicity that is often required to understand and appreciate the wisdom of God, making it accessible to the uneducated. 1 Corinthians 1:27, but God chose what is foolish in the world to shame the wise. God chose what is weak in the world to shame the strong. This verse underscores the idea that God's wisdom is not confined to the world's scholars, but can be recognized by those who might be considered uneducated or simple. And John Calvin's assertion that the proofs of God's wisdom in creation are accessible to even the most uneducated individuals aligns with this broader theological perspective on divine revelation. Real world examples such as the changing seasons in the night sky illustrate the concept of God's wisdom is intuitively understandable. Biblical passages from Matthew and 1 Corinthians emphasize the idea that God's wisdom is not limited to those with scholarly knowledge, but can be grasped by those with childlike faith and simple understanding. Point three, those well versed in liberal studies, astronomy, medicine, natural sciences, can gain deeper insights into God's wisdom. In this point, Calvin acknowledges that individuals with expertise in liberal studies, including astronomy, medicine, and the natural sciences, can attain a more profound understanding of God's wisdom as revealed in creation. Calvin recognized that individuals who engage in the systematic study of nature through disciplines like astronomy, medicine, and the natural sciences are positioned to delve deeper into the intricacies of God's wisdom. He believed that these studies, when pursued with a humble and reverent spirit, could reveal more profound insights into the Creator's divine wisdom. In essence, Calvin saw these fields of study as tools that can enhance one's appreciation of God's handiwork. A modern day example of this is the field of astronomy and astrophysics. Those who dedicate themselves to understanding the cosmos with its complex phenomenon can gain insights into the vastness, order, and precision of the universe. They uncover details about the formation of galaxies, the life cycles of stars, and the mechanics of celestial bodies, all of which underscore the depth of God's wisdom in crafting the cosmos. Or consider the field of medicine as another example. Medical professionals, through extensive study and practice, uncover the intricate designs of the human body. They explore the mechanisms of health and disease, gaining insights into the complexities of life and the amazing way the body functions. This knowledge can lead to a greater appreciation of God's wisdom in creating the human form. Proverbs 2:6, for the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. This verse affirms the idea that wisdom and understanding can be sought and obtained, including through the study of God's creation. Proverbs 25:2, it is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. This passage suggests that the pursuit of knowledge, including the study of the natural world, can reveal the hidden wisdom and mysteries of God. Calvin's point that all these well versed in liberal studies can gain deeper insight into God's wisdom is in line with his belief that the potential for human understanding to uncover the intricacies of God's creation. Real world examples from fields like astronomy and medicine illustrate how expertise in these areas can lead to a richer understanding of the Creator's wisdom. Relevant biblical passages from Proverbs emphasize the value of seeking knowledge and understanding, which aligns with the pursuit of deeper insights into God's wisdom through the study of natural sciences. Point four, ignorance of these studies does not hinder a person from discerning the obvious evidence of God's wisdom in creation. At this point, John Calvin emphasizes that one's lack of knowledge or expertise in fields like astronomy, medicine, or the natural sciences does not prevent them from recognizing the evident signs of God's wisdom in the natural world. Calvin's theological perspective extends grace and recognition to those who may lack specialized knowledge. He maintains that God's wisdom in creation is so inherently evident that even those who have not pursued in depth studies in these fields can still perceive and appreciate the divine craftsmanship. Perspective underscores the idea that God's wisdom is universally accessible, regardless of one's educational background. One can also see how understanding Christian doctrine is not limited to the formally educated, and how pretty much every single church has members who were once saved by Christ at age 5 from a chocolate milk addiction or whatever vices kids are into these days. But some real world examples of anybody being able to uh, see the work of God in creation would be the daily occurrence of sunrise and sunset. People from various educational backgrounds and walks of life can witness and appreciate the beauty and regularity of these events. Changing colors of the sky, the warming or cooling of the earth, and the predictability of all these phenomena all speak to the evident design in nature and are accessible to anyone. Or take a walk in the woods or by a tranquil lake, and they'll provide you with plenty of opportunities, regardless of your level of education, to observe and appreciate the beauty and intricacy of God's creation. The patterns in leaves, the behavior of animals, and the diversity of plant life. I don't like that word diversity. I'm going to change that. Be variety. The patterns in leaves, the behavior of animals, the variety of plant life all demonstrate the Creator's wisdom, which can be discerned without specialized knowledge. Going back to Romans chapter 1 again, 19 to 20. For what can be known about God is plain to them because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world and the things that have been made. This passage from Romans emphasizes that God's attributes are evident to all through creation, regardless of their educational backgrounds. Matthew 11:25. I thank you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that you have hidden these things from the wise and understanding and revealed them to little children. This verse underscores that divine wisdom is accessible even to those who are not considered wise or learned. Calvin's point that ignorance of specialist studies does not hinder a person from discerning the obvious evidence of God's wisdom in creation underscores the universality of divine revelation. Real world examples, such as the sunrise and nature walks, illustrate how individuals from all backgrounds can perceive God's wisdom. Passages from Romans and Matthew affirm the idea that God's attributes are plain and evident to all, regardless of their level of education or expertise. Onward then to point 5. Investigating the celestial body's motions, positions, distances, and properties requires skill and careful examination. In this point, Calvin acknowledges that in-depth exploration of celestial bodies, including their movements, positions, distances, properties, demands specialized knowledge, skill, and meticulous study. Calvin recognizes that understanding the celestial bodies, such as stars and planets, requires a certain level of expertise. He suggests that investigating their intricate motions, positions in the night sky, precise distances, and unique properties necessitates a more scientific and methodological approach. While emphasizing the potential for deeper insight through such study, he underscores that this level of examination is not required for the general recognition of God's wisdom in creation. Modern day astronomy demonstrates this point. Astronomers and astrophysicists employ advanced telescopes and observational techniques to study the celestial bodies. They analyze data, calculate orbits, and measure distances to gain a comprehensive understanding of the cosmos. For instance, determining the precise distance between stars or the characteristics of distant planets requires intricate observational tools and expertise. Eclipses and planetary alignments, these occurrences, uh, demand careful examination and mathematical precision for accurate prediction. Understanding astronomers and scientists utilize specialized instruments to track the celestial events and unravel their underlying principles. While the Bible does not specifically address the study of celestial bodies in a detailed manner of modern times, it does contain verses that emphasize the wonder of God's creation and the intricacies of his work. Psalm 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. This passage underscores the idea that the celestial bodies testify to God's glory. It does not, however, delineate the level of expertise required to appreciate this depth. Isaiah 40, verse 26. Lift up your eyes on high and see who created these. He who brings out their host by number, calling them all by name, by the greatness of his might, and because he is strong in power, not one is missing. This verse speaks to God's power and knowledge in creating the celestial bodies, but does not address the skill needed for their detailed study. Calvin's point that investigating the celestial bodies' motions, positions, distances, and properties requires skill and careful examination aligns with the more technical aspects of astronomical and astrophysical research. Real world examples from modern astronomy illustrate the precision and methodology needed for such investigations. And while the Bible emphasizes the glory and order in the heavens, it does not specifically address the specialized skills and knowledge required for their detailed study, as Calvin's point does. Point 6. The study of celestial bodies unfolds the providence of God more fully and elevates the mind to a higher understanding of his glory. In this point, Calvin asserts that the study of celestial bodies, such as stars and planets, leads to a deeper appreciation of God's providence and elevates the human intellect to a greater understanding of his glory. Calvin suggests that a comprehensive study of celestial bodies goes beyond mere observation. It involves recognizing the divine providence that governs the universe by exploring the intricate patterns, motions, and interactions of celestial objects. Individuals can gain a heightened awareness of God's sustaining ordering of the cosmos. This, in turn, is believed to inspire awe and wonder, leading to a more profound understanding of the Creator's glory. Modern cosmological research serves as a practical example. Astronomers and physicists, through careful observation and analysis, have unveiled the expansion of the universe and the formation of galaxies and the dynamics of celestial bodies. These detailed this detailed exploration enhances our understanding of how God's providence sustains and orchestrates the cosmos. Advanced instruments like telescopes and space probes allow us to peer into distant corners of the universe. These tools provide valuable data for understanding the celestial realm even more comprehensively, further emphasizing the providential order of the cosmos. Psalm 8, verses 3 and 4. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him? This passage from Psalms reflects the wonder of the heavens and underscores the idea that contemplating God's creation can lead to awe and a deeper understanding of God's concern for humanity. Job 38, verses 31 to 33. Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades or loose the cords of Orion? Can you lead forth the Mazzaroth in their season, or can you guide the bear with its children? You know the ordinances of the heavens. Can you establish their rule on the earth? The book of Job contains a dialogue where God challenges Job's understanding of the cosmos, highlighting God's providential control over the celestial bodies. Calvin's point that the study of celestial bodies deepens the recognition of God's providence and leads to a higher understanding of his glory aligns with the idea that in-depth exploration of the cosmos reveals the divine order and governance. Real-world examples from cosmology and the use of advanced astronomical instruments illustrate how scientific research can enhance our understanding of God's providential work in the universe. Biblical passages from Psalms and Job emphasize the awe and wonder inspired by the contemplation of God's celestial creation. Point 7. Even those who lack in depth knowledge of celestial mechanics can see the divine skill displayed in the organized arrangement of the heavenly bodies. In this point, Calvin emphasizes that the individuals without extensive knowledge of celestial mechanics can still perceive the divine artistry and skill evident in the orderly arrangement of celestial bodies. Calvin's perspective here underscores the accessibility of evidence for God's wisdom in the heavens. He suggests that even those with limited knowledge of celestial mechanics can recognize the beauty and order of the arrangement of the celestial bodies. The celestial body's regular patterns and harmonious movements visible to all are seen as tangible expressions of God's skill and craftsmanship. On a clear, dark night, individuals can observe the stars and constellations without needing extensive knowledge of celestial mechanics. The way these stars form recognizable patterns and move predictably across the night sky showcases the apparent design and organization in the heavens. The changing phases of the moon from a thin crescent to a full luminous disk are readily noticeable to anyone. This phenomenon, which has been observed by people throughout history, demonstrates the systematic and predictable nature of celestial bodies. Psalm 8:3, when I look at the heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon, the stars, which you have set in place. This verse from Psalms highlights the notion that celestial bodies are accessible for contemplation and reflection by people of various levels of knowledge. Psalm 19:1, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. This passage from Psalms reiterates the idea that the celestial heavens proclaim God's glory and craftsmanship, a message that is understood even without in depth scientific knowledge. Calvin's point that even those lacking extensive knowledge of celestial mechanics can perceive the divine skill in the arrangement of heavenly bodies emphasizes the universal accessibility of evidence for God's wisdom in creation. Real world examples, such as observing the stars and lunar phases, illustrate how individuals from diverse backgrounds can witness the beauty and organization in the heavens. Biblical passages from Psalms reinforce the idea that the heavens declare God's glory and craftsmanship in a way that is understandable to people, regardless of their scientific expertise. On to point 8. God has provided abundant evidence for his wisdom for every individual. In this point, Calvin emphasizes that God's wisdom is abundantly evident in creation, and that this evidence is accessible to every individual. Calvin asserts that God's wisdom is so abundantly present in the natural world that it can be readily observed by anyone, regardless of their educational background or expertise. He underscores the idea that God has not hidden his wisdom, but has made it manifest in creation. This aligns with Calvin's broader theological perspective, where God's attributes are displayed through his handiwork for all to witness. The daily occurrence of sunrise and sunset provides a simple yet profound example. These events are universally accessible and can be observed by people from all walks of life. The regularity and beauty of these phenomena serve as a clear indicators of God's wisdom and are experienced by individuals around the world. The human body itself serves as a universal and tangible example. The complexity and precision of its design, from the intricacies of the circulatory system to the wonder of the brain's functions, can be observed by everyone, allowing all to recognize the evidence of divine wisdom. Romans 1:20 again. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world and the things that have been made. This verse from Romans suggests that God's attributes, including his wisdom, are evident to all through the observation of creation. Psalm 104, verse 24, O Lord, how manifest are your works! In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. The passage from Psalms highlights the idea that God's wisdom is manifest in the abundance and variety of his creation. Calvin's point that God has provided abundant evidence of his wisdom for every individual underscore the universality of divine revelation. Real world examples such as the sunrise and sunset and the human body's design illustrate how evidence of God's wisdom is accessible to people from all backgrounds. Biblical passages from Romans and Psalms affirm the idea that God's wisdom is evident and manifold in his created works, accessible to all who observe them. Point number 9. The same principle applies to the human body structure. In this point, Calvin draws a parallel between the evidence of God's wisdom in the natural world and the human body. He asserts that just as the heavens and the earth reveal God's wisdom, so does the intricate structure of the human body. Calvin's theological perspective affirms that God's wisdom is not limited to the grandeur of the cosmos, but is equally evident in the design and intricacies of the human body. He suggests that the structure of the human body, with its complex organs, systems, and functions, bear witness to the Creator's wisdom. This concept aligns with Calvin's broader theological belief that God's attributes are manifest in his creation. The human brain, with its billions of neurons, intricate neural networks, and cognitive capabilities, serves as an example of God's wisdom in the human body. Even those without in depth knowledge of neurobiology can recognize the remarkable design of the brain, which enables consciousness, thought, and self awareness. The circulatory system, including the heart and blood vessels, demonstrate precision and complexity. Its ability to transport oxygen and nutrients throughout the body is vital for sustaining life. And this intricate design can be appreciated by individuals from various educational backgrounds. As a interesting historical aside, the circulatory system was discovered by Michael Servetus, one of history's most notorious heretics, who committed the 16th century equivalent of suicide by cop. And John Calvin gets blamed for Servetus being burned at the stake. Servetus was a anti-Trinitarian heretic who basically ranted and raved and spewed heresy until the government got so fed up with him they just burned him. John Calvin's blamed for the incident, but all he did was act as a lawyer for the civil magistrate. You can hear about that in the biography I gave for Calvin. I cover it in more detail. Psalm 139, verse 14. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it's very well. This verse from Psalms highlights the awe inspiring nature of human creation and recognizes the wisdom of God in the intricacies of the human body. 1 Corinthians 6:19. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own. This verse from Corinthians emphasizes the sanctity of the human body as a dwelling place for the Holy Spirit, suggesting a profound spiritual significance in its design. Calvin's point that the same principle of recognizing God's wisdom applies to the human body structure underscores the theological belief that the intricacies of the human body are equally a manifestation of divine wisdom. Real world examples, such as the human brain and circulatory system, illustrate the complexity and design evident in the human body. Biblical passages from Psalms and Corinthians from the idea that the human creation is a testament to God's creation wisdom and marvelous work. Point 10. Understanding the human body's connections, symmetry, and beauty may require the expertise of someone like Galen. In this point, Calvin acknowledges that comprehending the intricacies of the human body, including its connection, symmetry, and beauty, may necessitate the expertise of individuals like Galen, a prominent ancient physician. He underscores the importance of scientific and medical insights for exploring the complexities of the human form. Perspective aligns with the notion that human knowledge and expertise can lead to a more profound appreciation of God's creation. Galen was a prominent Greek physician whose works heavily influenced the field of medicine for centuries. His anatomical studies and medical writings were foundational to the understanding of the human body in the ancient world and the medieval period. Galen's descriptions of the human body's functions, structures, and connections were highly regarded and remained authoritative for more than a millennium. In modern times, the study of human anatomy in medical schools involves the use of advanced tools and expertise. Medical professionals and anatomists use techniques such as dissection, imaging, and medical illustrations to understand the complexities of the human body, its connections and symmetry. The expertise of surgeons is a practical example. They perform intricate procedures that require an in depth understanding of human anatomy. For example, a heart surgeon needs extensive knowledge to perform delicate heart surgeries, illustrated the specialized expertise required to appreciate the human body's intricacies fully. Going back to Psalm 139, verse 14, I praise you, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well. This verse from Psalms emphasizes the awe inspiring nature of human creation, acknowledging the intricacies of the human body. Proverbs 3, verse 19, the Lord by wisdom founded the earth, by understanding he established the heavens. This verse affirms God's wisdom in creation and suggests that understanding the natural world requires knowledge and understanding. John Calvin's point that understanding the human body's connection, symmetry, and beauty may require the expertise of someone like Galen underscores the idea that specialized knowledge and expertise can lead to a deeper appreciation of God's creation. The historical background of Galen's influence on anatomy and medicine adds depth to this perspective. Real world examples from modern medicine and surgery illustrate the need for specialized expertise to comprehend the human body fully. Biblical passages from Psalms and Proverbs emphasize the intricacy of human creation and the role of wisdom and understanding in recognizing God's works. The final point, number 11. However, all people can acknowledge that the human body exhibits ingenious design, testifying to the Creator's wisdom. Calvin emphasizes that regardless of the level of expertise or education, All individuals can recognize the ingenious design of the human body, which bears witness to the Creator's wisdom. Calvin's theological perspective underscores the universal accessibility of evidence for God's wisdom in the human body. He asserts that the intricate design of the human body is so apparent that it can be recognized by people from all walks of life. The human body, in its complexity and functionality, serves as a tangible and universal testimony to the Creator's wisdom. The human eye is often cited as an example of intelligent and creative design. Its ability to capture light, focus on objects, and transmit visual information to the brain is remarkable. This design, even though it requires a deeper understanding of biology and optics for full appreciation, can be observed and admired by individuals without specialized knowledge. The human skeletal system, with its interconnected bones and joints, provides the framework for the body's movement and protection of vital organs. Anyone can see the balance and functionality in the arrangement of bones, even without an in depth anatomical expertise. Back to Psalm 139, verse 14. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well. This verse from Psalms highlights the marvelous design of the human body and the soul's intuitive recognition of God's wisdom. Romans 1:20, for his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived since the creation of the world and the things that have been made. This verse from Romans emphasizes that God's attributes are clearly perceived through creation, including the human body, and can be understood by people from various backgrounds. I don't like that word diverse. I don't know why I keep reading it. From varied backgrounds. Diverse is a dirty word. In John Calvin's point that all people can acknowledge the ingenious design of the human body, testifying to the Creator's wisdom, underscores the universality of divine revelation and accessibility to everyone. Real world examples such as the human eye and skeletal system illustrate how the human body's design can be appreciated by people with varying levels of expertise. The passage from Psalms and Romans affirm that the idea of the human body's intricate design is evident to all and serves as a testimony to God's wisdom and power. If you're enjoying these videos, subscribe, like, comment, share, pray for me. In Calvin's text, we first must see the heavens and earth, God's wisdom decree, both simple and complex for all to perceive, his wisdom abundant, none can deceive. Not confined to scholars, knowledge profound, even the simplest in awe are found. In nature's vast canvas, God's glory displayed, for all to behold, the wonders arrayed. For experts and scholars, a deeper insight, the liberal studies reveal what's in sight. Astronomy, medicine, and sciences too, they uncover God's wisdom each day anew. But for those who lack specialized skill in nature's design, God's purpose instill. The moon and stars, the human body's grace, reveal his wisdom in every case. With precision and skill, the heavens they explore. Astronomers chart the celestial floor. Motions, distances, and stars in the sky unveil God's providence none can deny. The mind takes flight to the realms above as we ponder the cosmos, a testament to his love. Yet God's wisdom is evident wherever we trod, for all to behold in the firmament of God. Now to the body, both wondrous and grand, the design of our form by the Creator's hand. In the brain's vast network with our heart's rhythmic beat, his wisdom is present in every heartbeat. Galen's expertise in the ancient past, anatomy's secret, his knowledge amassed, but even without, for all to agree, the human body's genius all can see. In this harmonious chain of design, God's wisdom shines, forever divine, from the heavens so high to our body so fine. His wisdom's abundant in every sign. Until next time, continue to follow Jesus, who is